my gee whiz, I cannot believe that I've been making videos on this silly little channel for about a year now. So the only way I can really think of celebrating this is by remaking my first ever review. And also, considering the fact that it's been about a year since this came out, I have a lot more to say. But I also haven't seen the movie since I made that video. So let me go rewatch it real quick. Okay, so I do still agree with what I said about Kang in this movie. He's still the best part of it. But I feel two things I didn't before. One, he should not have been in an Ant-Man movie. Ant-Man movies are like the filler movies of the MCU. You do not need to watch them. They're fun, but you don't need to watch them for the overarching story. Two, Jonathan Majors sucks.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
For those of you who don't know, Jonathan Majors as a person just sucks. Like, whenever he and his girlfriend would argue, he would just bend her fingers backwards. And apparently he had a case of strangulation against him. So, not the best person for your movies, Marvel. And he's also been found guilty and fired from Marvel Studios. So that's kind of a detriment to this film, but that's just a small, big part of this movie. But the movie starts with like a cold open of Janet in the quantum realm, right? It's a little mystery for the audience to figure out, like, oh, what's she doing with Kang right now? Oh, that's kind of cool. Except she barely even talks about it. And that's one of my biggest gripes with all movies, not just this one. I hate it when a character has some important news that could help the good guys in some way, but they don't want to tell because of whatever reason. It's so annoying, and I hate it when they do it. It is my biggest pet peeve. Oh hey, the bad guy Kang, I have something really important I should tell you, but I'm not going to. That's for you to figure out. Like, it's so annoying. I'm glad movies nowadays don't really do this. But it just gets on my nerves so much. I'm getting way too annoyed at this movie. What are some of the positives of it? I like how the quantum realm looks. It looks really cool in this movie. I love how none of the animals and vehicles in it look like they're from Earth. It does a really good job at making it look like it's an otherworldly or alien. It's kind of Dark Crystal-esque in that way. But unfortunately, acting is not one of the strong suits of this movie. Like, for example, Michael Douglas and Bill Murray. Both are very good actors. Both have proved that through their extensive filmography. They're just not at the top of their game with this movie, and it is very noticeable if they're just stuck in a green room for like months on end, because you know that movies take a while to shoot. And then they had to say some of the dumbest lines ever about ants. So, yeah. I mean, the acting isn't bad, it's just not as good as we know they can do. But my goodness, cannot say the same for the CGI. Like MODOK. I still 100% believe that he looks like a Funko Pop. He just looks ugly. When I saw this in theaters and when I saw this watching it for this video, I thought to myself, man, what does he put his face mask back on? 'Cause he genuinely looks so hideous. I think one of the positives of this movie is that it brought Jay Schlatt into the MCU. No, I refuse to explain that. One last thing is that this movie is a pretty good movie to just sit down and turn your brain off to and just enjoy. It's just mindless fun. Now, I believe I gave this movie like a 7 out of 10 last year. And unfortunately, I think it's going to go down a little bit. It's now a 6.5 out of 10. And I just realized I'm going to have to review this for a third time in a new video series where I review every single MCU movie. So I'll see you then. Next video is probably going to be like Red Dead Redemption, if my editor decides to do it.